At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger here. It is Coffee with Krueger time, 7 a.m. every weekday morning. Be sure to check it out. This is going to be a forecast today where, if you got questions, comments, concerns about the upcoming storm, this is now time to take advantage of this platform. This is what's so great about what I do here at Weather NorCal and with this live platform here on Coffee with Krueger is you can ask questions. If you have comments or concerns about any upcoming storm or any event that I'm covering, and not just on Coffee with Krueger, but if I have to cut in or update during severe weather, we are good to go. Everybody kind of checking in this morning. Ruth, Chappie, Mary, all good morning. Good morning to you and good morning to everyone as well. Thank you so much for checking in this morning. Well, let's get you out to your Krueger's Quick Cast to start off the day. And this is just kind of a quick look at the forecast for the day. So if you're need to check in with the forecast to see what's going on for the day, you can do that. So this morning, you're heading out the door. We have got some showers that are moving through the north coast, even a few lightning strikes just to the north and west of Crescent City. But we could see more of those showers and thunderstorms coming in this morning as well. So Del Norte, Humboldt County, western Siskiyou County, even parts of northern Trinity County are starting to see some of those showers kick in as we speak. Over the last half hour or so, we've seen about 18 lightning strikes, at least visible on the screen there. So that's mainly off to the north and to the west. Meanwhile, we take you out to Siskiyou County. Now, last night and early this morning, there were some showers and thunderstorms there. Not a ton of lightning strikes, but a few. And you can see, of course, that activity here this morning, especially out towards eastern Siskiyou County and western Siskiyou County. Even a little bit of activity here towards northeastern portions of Shasta County, near Bernie, looking at least like maybe a little bit of light rainfall out there as well. But again, on the screen there, you can see about 16 total lightning strikes here in the last half hour or so. We haven't seen any over NorCal over the last half hour. They've just been over the ocean there, it looks like, with those thunderstorms just off the coast of southwestern Oregon. By the way, rain last night. Those of you know who you are, right? You know what rain. Looks like most of it was to the west of the valley. Whiskeytown Lake saw 64 hundredths of an inch of rainfall. Eureka, 14 hundredths. Crescent City, about 35 hundredths of an inch of rainfall. Klamath, just under 4/10. Mount Shasta City, 32 hundredths. Doris, out in northeast Siskiyou County, 34 hundredths of an inch of rainfall. So you get the idea. Some of us saw a decent amount of rain with last night's storms. Now, it just missed the valley. I was actually anticipating it was drifting eastward. But once those storms stopped developing, kind of coming in from the south, that just moved off to the north and east and just skirted past. Looks like it was like the Redding area, city of Shasta Lake. Lakehead did get to see, of course, some of that rain, as you saw there, 34 hundredths of an inch of rain. All right, take a look at those temperatures out there right now. It is getting cool out there in the morning. Temperatures, especially in the mountains, are in the 40s, mid to upper 50s for the valley, 62 degrees for Redding, 61 in Chico. You've got temperatures mid to upper 50s along the coast. How about that visibility? Well, it looks like we're in pretty good visibility there. And I tell you what, it looks like it's going to be gorgeous. Let's take a look and see what it looks like right now this morning. Oh yeah, that is a nice shot right there. I tell you what, that's looking out at Crescent City, out in the Harbor District, kind of southern portions of Crescent City along the coast there. Just gorgeous. But look at the clouds. And, we are going to be looking at some rain eventually coming from those clouds as well. So we'll take you back to Elk Country here, just north of Trinidad, and you can see some of the clouds there as well. You'll eventually be looking at some of that rain throughout the day today as well. Well, let's get you out the door this morning on this August 23rd. So yeah, you'll see the potential for some showers and thunderstorms here this morning on the coast. Otherwise, everyone else should be dry. I should have adjusted that. I meant to. Modoc County is going to be dry this morning. Although there is actually a weak disturbance that could bring us to a few stray showers in eastern Siskiyou, maybe northern Modoc County. But really, for the most part, it's going to be a dry day for Modoc County and especially the eastern mountains. And really, even the valley won't see much in the way of rain until late afternoon, early evening. And again, we'll get into the timing of all that a little bit later. Trinity County dry this morning, but that will change as we go into the late morning to early afternoon hours. Okay, so let's talk about the flash flood watch. Now, this is until 11 a.m. on Saturday. Yesterday, I downplayed it a little bit. That's because forecast models weren't too aggressive with how far south the rain would come. But now it's beginning to look more promising that all of the Park Fire area could be looking at rain. Now, this is good from a standpoint of helping get control of that fire, more control of the fire, containment, right? However, what's bad about it is if it's heavy enough, now we're talking about the potential for mudslides and debris flows. Highway 36 to be kind of really the main area, but even Highway 32, Highway 70. Not necessarily Highway 70 because that's kind of outside of the burn scar area, but you get the idea. If you live in some of these surrounding areas, just take note that there may be some road closures and, of course, some evacuations. Now, I will mention that even though it's for 11 a.m. this morning through 11 a.m. Saturday morning, keep in mind, I think the heaviest rainfall moving through the Park Fire area will be late tonight, when many of you are actually asleep. And that's when it can be most dangerous, right? Because you're asleep, you're not paying attention to any evacuations or any closures, and that can create problems. So just be aware of that could happen overnight tonight. Take a look at the severe outlook. This is basically just coming in from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. And every day they just kind of issue for a few days, hey, where we can expect the best potential for thunderstorms. The areas in light green, that's basically saying, hey, this is the best potential for thunderstorm development for today. Now, it's going to basically move from west to east. So eventually, late afternoon, early evening, yes, Redding, maybe Red Bluff, and maybe even places like Modoc County. But I think it's going to hold off until tonight for places like Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains. So let's take a look at Futurecast at least through tonight. And you can see here, by noon, northern Trinity County, Delnor County, seeing some of the heavier rainfall, but the main band of rain has yet to move in. We go through the afternoon till about 5 o'clock. Now it's really filling in for all of the North Coast. Heavy rainfall at times, gusty winds, potential for lightning strikes, potential for hail too. That's for all of the areas in kind of the orange and red. Siskiyou County mainly looking wet. Most of Shasta County is looking wet at this point, including Redding, maybe as far south as Red Bluff, and there could be some isolated thunderstorms in there as well. Trinity County looking wet. Now, the leading edge of all of this, there could be a little bit of shower activity in Plumas County and maybe a little bit of development out towards Modoc and Lassen County as well. But again, the main event is not there yet for Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains. But Bernie, yeah, you're seeing it. Shingletown, sure, you're seeing it as well. But east of that, it's not there yet. Then we go into tonight, and again, it's slow to arrive, but now we're starting to see it fill in for even the valley. So Willows, Chico, even Oroville could see some showers by 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe some thunderstorms for parts of the valley. Heavy rainfall to the north and west. Now, I forgot to put in the fire perimeters, but as we go into the deeper dive, you'll see the fire perimeters in relation. But the Boise fire is getting drenched, the Boise fire. The Park fire is going to hold off until tonight and through early tomorrow morning before we start seeing some of that heavier rainfall. Okay, so here's what we can expect for today. Thunderstorms, don't be too alarmed by, say, the valley eastward, right? Because that's going to be late today. But for the most part, if you work outside, you should be dry for the first half of the day. I'd say you're pretty safe until about 2, 3, 4, sometime between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. We start to see the potential for showers and maybe even some thunderstorms in the valley. Meanwhile, up to the north, Siskiyou County, you're dry through a good portion of the morning, and then by late morning, early afternoon, we start to see it spread into Siskiyou County. This morning, through the morning, it increases in intensity for all of the North Coast. Through the late morning, early afternoon hours, we start to see it pick up in intensity for Trinity County as well. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook and what we're going to be looking at here. Of course, dry conditions by tomorrow. Now, there may be a lingering shower early Saturday morning, especially to the south in Chico. But it's dry for the weekend. So a beautiful weekend, especially on Saturday. Mid to upper 70s. Love it. Upper 80s by Sunday. Back in the 90s, though, by next week. And there you can see the coast, inland Weaverville. There's the thunderstorms for today. And, of course, you've got dry conditions by Saturday and Sunday and warming up next week. For Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville. All right, so for Alturas, all right, we'll wait until late afternoon, early evening. But probably closer to tonight, especially Susanville tonight. Now, for Modoc County, Eastern Mountains in general, I think that for the morning through about noon, you've got scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. But by the afternoon, it should be dry. And then by Sunday, it's completely dry, and then dry for all of next week. All right. How's everybody? Oh, you know what? Let's get to the fires. We're going to talk about the fires here real quickly here, and then we'll kind of check in with everybody. Last I checked, let me double check that. Boise fire at 28% containment as of last night. So again, even now, that's what's being reported for the Boise fire, 12,880 acres. Within the next hour or so, we may get an update on the Boise fire. We may see some higher numbers for acreage and not to mention containment, but only time will tell at this point. All right, we take you out to the park fire. Before we get to the park fire, there you can see there's no recent heat signatures, which is good. It's the last 24 to 48 hours with the yellows and oranges in there. So we haven't really seen a lot of activity coming in from the Boise fire. All right, now we take you out to the park fire. Last check, 429,460 acres at 65% containment. By the way, those black lines are the lines of is that 65% containment. Winds, well, they're picking up already, especially you can see off towards the east and near Chico too, some gusty winds there as well. So that storm is getting closer, and as a result, the winds are really picking up. You may have noticed that even yesterday afternoon. There still is, believe it or not, elevated fire risk off in eastern Modoc and eastern Lassen counties. Now, no red flag warnings or fire weather watches, but just know that as the winds pick up there, it's still dry today, and that is going to give us that elevated fire risk. So there are the winds as we go through the day today. Pretty gusty for the valley, pretty gusty for Siskiyou County, east of that as well. And with those thunderstorms moving through the west of the valley through the day, those winds will be gusty at times as those thunderstorms move through. And how about the humidity? Well, this is one of the good things coming with the storm is the humidity levels are going up. And we're going to be looking at that again here. Probably some leftover moisture even for your Saturday as well. Taking a look at Lake Oroville, there's the spillway there. Looks pretty dry at this point. We take you out to Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Winds are picking up there. You can see, of course, the trees blowing in the wind. The lake, not looking so glass-like now, is it? You got the winds blowing over that lake, making some ripples in the water. So a little overcast there this morning as well, not to mention in Chico. If you look closely, yeah, you can kind of see the American flag blowing in the wind there. And not to mention, it looks like those trees are blowing a little bit as well. Let's take you out to Highway 99 at Neal Road. Camera blowing in the wind. So yes, those winds are beginning to pick up. A little overcast this morning as well. Not so overcast to the north, though, out towards Redding. Here's the Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. So there you go. All right, let's check in with everybody this morning and see what's going on with you all this morning. Boy, a lot of you checking in. This is great. All right. So, boy, oh boy, got a lot of you. I had to go through all of these. Good morning. Enjoy your cup of coffee. I am right here. Keeps me up in the morning, too. We got a lot of our regulars checking in this morning. Good morning. Let's see if there's any information or news. Just a lot of good morning. So to all of you, good morning. And of course, for those of you who haven't said good morning, well, still good morning to you. Let's see here. Greetings from Red Bluff. Enjoying the cooler weather. This is Laura Bates checking in the last 30 seconds or so. We've got Rebecca Lynn saying good morning from Paradise. Good morning to you. So yes. Good morning from Trinidad. We've got MacArthur. We've got Durham in the house. Looks like going Good morning from Durham. Hoping to get to Almanor next week. You should be fine next week getting to Almanor. It's, obviously, it's just going to be warmer. But if you're heading out to Almanor, that means you're heading out to the lake probably, right? To cool off. Should be a nice week for it. It's cold in Chester this morning. Yeah, we'll take a look at those current temperatures here a little bit later here. You know what? Today is Friday. We have got our pet of the week. Now, I had an opportunity to meet the pet of the week yesterday, went out and did the interview, and we have got ourselves a young German Shepherd with kind of an interesting temperament. It has some energy, but also knows to kind of chill out a little bit as well. So here is this week's Pet of the Week, sponsored by Cottonwood Vet and Small Animal Clinic. Hi everyone, Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. This is Pet of the Week, sponsored by Cottonwood Vet and Small Animal Clinic. We are at Haven Humane Society. We've got Katrina from Haven Humane, our regular guest here, and we've got a new guest here at Pet of the Week. This is Deacon. Now, it looks to me, I'm of course seeing Shepherd, maybe German Shepherd.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. Definitely a Shepherd mix of some sort.
Looks a little bit younger too.
Yeah, he's about 3 years old.
Okay.
Deacon's pretty cool. He sees a dog friend in the yard over there, so he's pretty focused on them right now. But Deacon's a great guy. He actually lived in a home, and unfortunately his owners passed away, which is how he ended up here. But he's a fantastic dog. He loves children. He's done great with kids, and he's done great with other dogs. He's been very well loved by people, and he already knows a lot of basic commands. He's definitely a house dog. He seems like he's very used to living in a home. So I think he would be a good fit for most families, as long as you have room for this big boy.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty good. Probably not going to grow much at 3 years old, right?
No, he is fully grown.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're thinking probably just, there we go. Now we're seeing the energy a little bit, aren't we?
There we go.
Yes. But just kind of looks like can chill, and probably good for a lot of different families, right? There we go.
Definitely. He likes to give kisses.
Yes, big kisses. Who doesn't love a good dog kiss?
And he loves treats. Will you sit? Will you lay down? Oh,
See?
Here we go.
So he does know some commands as well. So if you're interested in Deacon or any of the other animals they have here at Haven Humane Society, be sure to give the number on the bottom of your screen a call, and they'll be sure to take care of you here. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Deacon. Good luck to you. He's looking for his forever home. That has been Pet of the Week, sponsored by Cottonwood Vet and Small Animal Clinic. All right, so just a cute dog. I mean, really, honestly, I would say that this would be a dog that would be good for probably any home. I think good with kids, good with other animals, and just a great dog. So be sure to call the Haven Humane Society if you're interested in Deacon or any of the other pets that they have over there. I mean, I was just over on their website the other day, and they got a lot of dogs over there. So before you go to a breeder or anything like that, head on out to the Haven Humane Society and see what they have there first. And then if all else fails, and then, of course, you can go to that back up to that. So he looks like my Timber Girl. She's German Shepherd and Husky. Yes, you got to love that Husky. Got a lot of that fur. Probably not the best thing for Northern California, but we just love our pets no matter what and do whatever we can to keep them cool during the summertime months. We'll tell you what, we have got a lot to talk about with our forecast. So let's get right into it. This is one of those forecasts where I was actually saying it yesterday evening during my 6 o'clock in the evening update. Pop some popcorn, sit down on the couch, put it on your big screen, which, by the way, if you're watching from your phone or from your computer and you're like, boy, I'd love to watch them on my big screen, you can. If you have a smart TV with YouTube, just go to the YouTube channel for Weather NorCal. Just search for Weather NorCal on the YouTube channel. You can watch the 24-hour streaming channel, which I then cut in and do Coffee with Krueger live. You can also watch from Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. So yeah, pop up some of that popcorn and get ready for a forecast, because we are going to go deep into the forecast. We're really going to walk you through the timing so you know what to expect today, tonight, and even going into the weekend as well. So let's get you right to it. And we first need to mention our sponsor, because without our sponsors, Weather NorCal would not be possible. And I mean that, folks. We gotta be really grateful for our sponsors. So we got Wind River Resort and Casino. You can enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, so let's start off with the radar. We're going to start off with the North Coast. There have been plenty of lightning strikes just to the north and west of Crescent City in southwestern Oregon. That's where most of the lightning strikes have actually been. So if you live in, say, north of Crescent City, say out towards Smith River, for example, you actually may be hearing some of those rumbles of thunder to your north. But I mean, you can just see overnight, we saw the scattered showers for many parts of Del Norte and Humboldt counties. And even Trinity County, getting a little bit of that activity. It looks like you can see towards Willow Creek and Hoopa and all that, looking at some of that as well. But, not very wet for Trinity County in general. All right, so we take you up to the north now into Siskiyou County. And last night, boy, it was pretty active, especially to the east of I-5. You can see around Tennant, Tule Lake, Doris, seeing some of that shower and thunderstorm activity. You can see some of the snow that we're seeing on the north side of Mount Shasta, the mountain itself. So looks like it's going to be a beautiful sight once this storm does pass. But you can see this activity generally moving from south to north, but we're beginning to see more of a progression from here, kind of coming in this direction. So we are going to see more in the way of showers and thunderstorms later this late morning, early afternoon, kind of filling in a little bit more here for places around Siskiyou County. But right now it's mainly around Happy Camp, looks like around Tule Lake, seeing some of those showers, and of course to the south, looking at those drier conditions at this point. Look at the 24-hour rainfall totals. You can see it just depends on where you are, but this was just the leading edge of the storm. The storm had not passed through at this point from yesterday evening. But you can see Eureka, Crescent City, Klamath. Klamath saw a decent amount at 3,900. Whiskeytown, over a half an inch there. Lakehead saw 3,400. Now, what's interesting about that is you head south of Lakehead, it was fairly dry. City of Shasta Lake, Redding, but it looked ominous, didn't it? If you looked off to the west, you saw those dark clouds. I think some people had, from my Facebook post, I just had kind of showed where those showers were and the thunderstorms. A lot of people saying, oh, the sky looks angry. And it did. There were some lightning strikes in that line of thunderstorms. Mount Shasta, 3,200s. Out of Doris, 3,400s of an inch of rainfall. That's up in northeastern Siskiyou County. So it's a cool start to the day. Temperatures are in the upper 50s, low 60s, pretty much like we've seen the last several mornings. 40s and 50s for the higher elevations and mid to upper 50s for the coast. So here's your headlines. Gusty southwest winds. Much cooler with highs 20 to 30 degrees below normal. The normal high in the valley is about, 97? And we see a high of 72. I mean, you're getting those temperatures way below normal for this time of the year, right? Now, heavy rain, gusty winds, lightning, and hail for some. Not everyone's going to see the heaviest rainfall, the gusty winds, these thunderstorms and hail, right? But some of you will, and if you get it, you're going to get it, and you're going to know it. Then there'll be others who go, hey, wait, where's that rain Mike was talking about? That's just how this is going to work. Triple digits, though, are, and I say that, and I'm kind of backing down now on the triple digits. It's going to be more like the upper 90s, and some areas, especially the north end of the valley, could at least touch 100 degrees through portions of next week, but mainly upper 90s, which is actually around normal for this time of the year. So we've been spoiled. And here in a second, we're going to take a look at what our temperatures have been like so far this month, and what we expect as we go into next week. And you'll kind of see there's going to be a big difference. But the winds have already picked up to the south and east. Even in Butte County around Chico, Oroville, you're seeing those gusty winds right now. It looks like in the foothills just east of the valley, we're starting to see those winds begin to pick up, but not so much off to the west. It's kind of in that upper level flow that we're helping to kind of see some of those winds pick up. Meanwhile, here I am talking about rain, thunderstorms, even a flood advisory or flood watch, flash flood watch. But we're not going to see the rain here until tonight. So with the gusty winds and still dry conditions, we actually have elevated fire risk because of that. But no red flag warnings at this point. That's been allowed to expire. But look at the winds today. They're pretty strong from the south-southwest for the valley. We're over 30 miles per hour, I think, in some cases. That's the case off to the east as well. Meanwhile, it's mainly going to be spotty with those gusty winds, and that's just because of the potential for showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon. Pretty strong winds, by the way, along the coast as well. There's actually a small craft advisory for the marine forecast today. But by tomorrow, those winds die down significantly. Still a bit breezy, though, off into the east here at Lassen County and Modoc County. And then going into your Sunday, there you can see those winds dying down for everyone. Looks like a little breezy, though, down towards places like southern Humboldt County and maybe even along the coast, a little breezy there as well. But the other good thing is, look at these humidity levels. I mean, we're up to 30% or higher, including the valley. Even on Saturday, when most of the rain is gone, still around 30%. But by Sunday, now it's completely out of here, and we're back to the normal dry conditions that we typically see around here. But also take note, the winds are a little bit more from the north. The good news is they're not strong north winds. We don't want to see that, but it will be back to drier conditions at that point. So you can kind of see the broad area of rotation right here, right? So here's what's kind of what's going on. This right here, if you look, this is what moved through yesterday evening. That's when we saw the showers and thunderstorms. That was kind of the prefrontal, if you will, or mainly as right there at the beginning of the storm kind of coming through, okay? Now, what we've got here is a disturbance. So think of it this way. You've got this spinning area of low pressure, all right? You've got this spinning area of low pressure. And around that area of low pressure, you get these little spins, what we call vortmaxes, vorticity max. These little spins that come in. So this right here is a disturbance rotating around that area of low pressure. And that's what's going to be moving in and doing this. So what we'll see here is the storm system itself is moving eastward. So what we're going to see is this storm kind of do this, and then the storms will kind of move to the north and east once they do enter Northern California. So let's talk about the flash flood watch until 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Now, as I mentioned, I'm anticipating that we could be looking at the heaviest rainfall late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at that on a future cast here in a second. But bottom line, here's what the flash flood watch means. The fire is still active, right? We know that, but there's a big burn scar from the park fire. And what happens is when you have these fires, as the trees die, then these steep hills, they don't have the root system to kind of keep everything intact. So when you get heavy rainfall on top of a recently burn scar or recently area that's been burned, especially those steep areas, you can see those mudslides and debris flows. So that's why there's a bit of a concern here for the park fire. Yes, it's going to really help. The heavy rainfall is going to help in the firefighting efforts, but it's also going to create some hazards. So here's the bottom line. If you're traveling to or live in this area, stay alert of any basically evacuations for your safety. Even though the heaviest rainfall will move through overnight, you still need to be aware of what's going on around you because it could be a dangerous situation should that heavy rainfall create some of those mudslides and debris flows. In the meantime, we take a look at the severe outlook. Now, the areas in light green, this is basically saying that this is the area that we've got the best potential for thunderstorms today. Tomorrow, the best potential will be to the east. Now, we're going to take a look at that timing here right now. Let's go right into it, talk about this with Futurecast. So I've also included on here the park fire for a point of reference. And if you look very closely, you can also see, of course, the Boise fire. Much smaller fire, but a fire nonetheless. So you can see even at noon, there are going to be a few showers around the Boise fire. This is kind of a band of rain that's kind of pushing in. So by noon, we got the heaviest rainfall in Del Norte County, approaching northern Humboldt County. A few showers in northern Trinity County near Siskiyou, but really for the most part, this is where most of the rain is by noon. So really, everyone's fairly dry. We're seeing, partly cloudy skies in the valley, partly cloudy and dry to the east, but not much going on, right? So at this point, if you work outdoors, you're in good shape for the valley. You may run into a few stray showers in northern Trinity County, but it's getting heavier in Del Norte, and as you head into Humboldt, you're getting borderlines of that, some of that rain coming in. All right, through the afternoon, it's now moving onshore. Most of the north coast, rain, maybe some thunderstorms. Now where you see the oranges and reds, that's where you see the potential for hail, heavy rainfall, maybe even some lightning strikes as well. In the meantime, we're beginning to see some development in the valley. Redding may see some showers by the mid to late afternoon hours, maybe some thunderstorms kicking in as well, but look to the south. We may see a few light showers developing by 4 p.m. around Chico, Willows, and Oroville, but no thunderstorms at this point. And really not much going on here for the Park Fire either as far as rain is concerned. We're seeing a little bit of development here for parts of the eastern mountains in Modoc County, but still fairly dry through the day. Okay, now we're going to take you to about 9 o'clock tonight. You see how it's beginning to fill in a little bit more. So really more in the way of just some decent rain coming into the valley. Now I think it could be even as far south as Chico, Oroville, and Willows, and maybe an isolated thunderstorm developing tonight for parts of the valley as well. But most of the heavy rainfall will be right here into the northwestern portions of the state. You're talking about heavy rainfall, gusty winds, potential for hail and thunderstorms. But now we're beginning to see parts of Lassen and Modoc County getting in on the rain. You're also noticing that we're seeing some of the light rain, light to moderate rainfall over the Park Fire. So this is the beginning phase of that potential for mudslides and debris flows, but it's not going to happen just yet. Notice too, you have to look closely, there's the Boise Fire getting caught up in some heavy rainfall through the day today and into tonight. Here's midnight tonight. Now we're beginning to see the back edge of the storm push through the north coast. So by midnight, you're seeing things begin to wrap up, but still a few stray showers and thunderstorms there. But now the bulk of the activity at midnight tonight will be in Trinity County, Siskiyou County, Shasta County, southward into all of the valley, looking at some periods of moderate to heavy rainfall. Not out of the question to hear some rumbles of thunder in parts of the valley late tonight, early tomorrow morning as well. We're also seeing some moderate to even heavy rainfall at times now making its way into all of the Park Fire area. Good for firefighting efforts, not so great for the potential and dangers for mudslides and debris flows around the Park Fire area. So this is a band of heavier rainfall that will be pushing through in the early morning hours. So again, a lot of us are asleep at this point, and that's when it can be even more dangerous because we're not aware of what's going on because we're sleeping. So you need to stay aware and alert, especially if you live on Highway 36 or any of these roads or highways that are near the Park Fire. Just be aware of that. Midnight tonight, we're seeing the eastern mountains now getting caught up in some of that. And by the way, let's take note. You see that blue? That's snow. That is snow, mainly around 7,000 to 8,000 feet, but it's snow, right? Mount Shasta, the mountain. Of course, Lassen Park seeing some snow too. Gorgeous sight after the storm passes. Okay, let's take you into 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now we're seeing the back edge of the storm, but eastern Shasta County around Bernie, Shingletown, you're getting some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, maybe some thunderstorms. But look at Modoc County, eastern mountains. Now you're getting the heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. Still a little heavy for parts of the Park Fire, 3 a.m. So between, I'd say, midnight and 3 a.m. is when I think the bulk of the heavy rainfall will be moving through the Park Fire. Okay, now we're going to take you into 6 a.m. Remember I was saying pop that popcorn? Because yeah, I'm going into a lot of detail here. 6 a.m. on Saturday. All right, so Saturday morning you're waking up. In the valley, it may feel a little damp out there, right? You've got the clouds. There may be some sprinkles, a little bit of drizzle. That's what we're looking at tomorrow morning. Same situation for the north coast. A little damp. You may see some drizzle, light showers, but most of it is still off to the east here. So Lassen, Plumas County, Modoc County, showers and thunderstorms. Bernie, so eastern Shasta County around Lassen Park, some thunderstorms there as well early tomorrow morning. Now we go into around the 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. It's becoming less widespread, but still maybe a chance for thunderstorms here for Modoc, Lassen counties. We're beginning to dry things out to the west of that. Then we go into about the noon hour. Look at that, still a little bit of leftover thunderstorm activity around Susanville. And then it moves out through the afternoon and we begin to clear things out as well. Now this is something I've mentioned over the last few days. If we see clearing a little bit sooner than anticipated, we could see a few afternoon showers or even thunderstorms developing Saturday afternoon for some of the higher elevations and maybe even the valley. But for now, you can see Futurecast really isn't picking up on that. And by Saturday night into Sunday, it dries out. Plenty of sunshine on Sunday and warmer conditions. We're getting back up closer to the upper 80s to low 90s in the valley. All right, that's getting you through the weekend. So how much rain can we expect? Well, I'll tell you this again, and I always say this. Do not take these to be literal amounts, but I do expect to see less rainfall for Chico, more rainfall up to the north end of the valley. There are two main areas that I'm focusing on for the most amount of rainfall, and that will be for the north coast, kind of working its way into Trinity County and central and western Siskiyou County. I think this is where we're going to see the most amount of rainfall. But there will also be an area here just east of the valley that could see some of that heavier rainfall as well. So you'll notice Bernie, I mean, yeah, upwards of close to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, but again, another batch of some heavier rainfall here. But what this will also illustrate, much like last Saturday's storm system, there were some areas that only saw a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall, and other areas, as you can see here, that could see upwards of 3/4 of an inch to even upwards of an inch in some areas here, especially for the north coast. So yes, we're looking at some decent rainfall coming out of this, and we'll take it. Snow? You betcha. There is going to be some snow out there. Now you have to go up above 7,000, 8,000 feet, but look at Trinity County. Look at western Siskiyou County. There's Mount Shasta itself, the mountain. You're looking at some snow there. There's Lassen Peak. There's the Warner Mountains. Snow. So by the time we get into Sunday, I tell you what, I want you to share your pictures. Send them. Send them on over to me. I want to see those beautiful mountain landscapes with that fresh snow above around 7,000 to 8,000 feet and higher. It's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous sight, folks. And it's August. And we'll be seeing that. Isn't that crazy? All right, take a look at the area of low pressure right here. This has really been the key factor as far as who sees rain and who doesn't, because the farther south this goes, the farther south we see that rain. But this is responsible for the cooler and windy conditions that we're seeing today. It shifts to the south and east by Saturday morning, and then by Saturday afternoon into Sunday, it shifts off well out of the area. And now we've got high pressure over the eastern Pacific that's going to be building for next week. Now, this is not going to be a terribly strong ridge, and that's because this storm system is going to help to suppress that ridge. This storm system right here will kind of move over that ridge as well, but it will shift eastward through next week. So not a major heat wave next week, but it will just be back to normal. So we're talking fall-like temperatures here for today and tomorrow. Then we're back to summer by the end of the weekend, especially for next week. Climate Prediction Center has us in that warmer than normal category. Now, to give you an idea what we've been dealing with for the month of August, look at this. The first week and a half, it was 100 degrees or higher, with the exception of the first Saturday of the month at 97 degrees. All last week, below 100 in the 90s, with the exception of Saturday. Last Saturday was 86. That's when we saw the thunderstorms. 88 on Sunday last weekend. All this week, below 100 degrees. We only got up to 86 yesterday. Today will be like 72. We'll keep it that way through the weekend. And then we're back up closer to normal as we go through next week. So it looks like we're going to start August off with very hot temperatures. Middle of August, very pleasant. End of August, getting back to hot again. But this, what a special treat that we've had for the month of August. August is typically one of the hottest months of the year. So when we can keep it below normal in the 90s, we're in great shape. Now, again, that's not going to last forever because we're up to 89 by Sunday. The blue line is the normal average high that we typically see in Redding, which is around 97. So we're going to be right around that or just above that, and maybe even around 100 degrees here for parts of next week. But you get the idea. Back to normal, back to summer as we go through next week. Here's your look at your wave heights, and we do have, of course, the wave heights increasing today. That's because of the approaching storm system. But then by Saturday afternoon into Sunday, those wave heights will drop. So as a result, there is a small craft advisory for today. South winds at about 15 to 20 knots. All right, here's your detailed neighborhood forecast, starting off with Trinity County. There's a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Now, again, it's going to be, the bulk of it will be this afternoon and tonight. And then by tomorrow, it's pretty much gone. And that's the case for southern Trinity County as well. Thunderstorms dry for your weekend and getting warmer by next week. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, Miranda 69, 70 out in Garberville. Red Crest about 65 degrees today. Temperature of 67 out towards Ferndale, 66 in Fortuna, and Rio Dell about 63 degrees. All right, take you up north, Blue Lake 65, 70 in Hoopa. Just gorgeous temperature-wise, right? But yeah, showers and thunderstorms here. We take you up north with Klamath about 61, 57 degrees for Gas Key. And temperatures, even along the coast, it's getting warmer for next week. We're getting close to 70 degrees for some of us along the coast. For Siskiyou County, central and western Siskiyou County, there you can see Happy Camp 56, 58 degrees for Horse Creek. It's just downright chilly. I mean, we're not even getting into the 60s in some spots here, including Scott Valley. Only a high of 56 today in Etna in August. 56 degrees for a high today in Fort Jones. How about central and eastern Siskiyou County? Temperatures 50s there as well. 52. Low 50s today. That is getting downright cold, at least for me. 58 degrees out in Tule Lake, 56 out in Doris. Now let's take a look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures upper 50s there, about 58 degrees for Newell, 59 degrees for Alturas. And these lightning strikes you're seeing are mainly late afternoon, early evening into tonight. Eastern Mountains, so here you can kind of see this area right here. All of this, looking at the chance for showers late afternoon, early evening, but otherwise the first half of the day should be dry. But Bieber, we take you southward, out towards Lake Almanor and towards Lassen Park. You should be looking at dry conditions for the first half of the day. But by tonight into tomorrow morning, through the morning hours, chances for showers and thunderstorms. But by Saturday afternoon, it's dry, Sunday as well. Here's your eastern mountains to the south, Paradise tonight. But by tomorrow morning, most of it's gone. For Susanville tonight, you've got showers and thunderstorms. And then for tomorrow morning through at least noon, you've got showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Let's take a look at your valley neighborhood forecast to the south. So Red Bluff northward, I think you've got the best chances for thunderstorms late afternoon, early evening. Otherwise, mainly dry. Now, there will be a chance for a few light showers possibly developing late afternoon, early evening. But I think most of the showers and thunderstorms for south of Red Bluff will be hold off until tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, Red Bluff northward, a chance for showers and thunderstorms late afternoon, early evening, tonight as well. Then by tomorrow morning, a few lingering showers, otherwise dry for the weekend, and a beautiful day on Saturday. Clouds will be parting. You'll see some sunshine peeking through there. You'll be looking at temperatures in the mid-70s. You just can't beat it for August, I tell you what. It's 89 degrees though by Sunday. It's warming back up, and then we're back up into the upper 90s by Monday, Tuesday, really through Thursday of next week. Whew, we made it through. We made it through. It is Friday, folks. I got to get ready to get my son off to school here today, but I'm going to check in with you and see how you all are doing, see if there's any questions or concerns as we kind of go through here. But I got people making comments about the pet of the week here. What does it mean when we say a fire is 50% contained? What that means is, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you know for sure. I don't know 100% for sure. I know 50%. No, I'm kidding. What that means is that there's a line where they've been able to hold the fire and prevent the fire from kind of jumping over that line. When they feel confident that that line is going to hold and nothing will kind of push it over or through that line, that is a line of containment. So you have to look at the entire fire perimeter. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, for example. Because, yeah, I mean, that you're like, well, what does that mean? The main focus is the perimeter of the fire. That's really what we're talking about here. So let's take a look at, this is a good example here. Let's take a look at the park fire. So the park fire, as you can see, is 65% contained. Okay? So that black line that I've got on there, I've drew that line on there. That is the 65% of that outside perimeter of the fire. That black line represents 65% of that fire perimeter that is contained. So that's what that means when you hear 50% or whatever percent containment. It is the percentage of the perimeter that is contained and that they feel confident that it is not going to go over that line. So you really want to, if you're, that's what you need to look for is, you may hear it's 10% contained, but the big question usually is, where is it contained? Is it contained on the part that's closest to me, or is it contained somewhere else? So that's kind of what that is when we're talking about containment there. So hopefully you're still watching out there, Stephen, and I was able to answer your question, and hopefully I was able to get that question answered understandably. Hopefully you could understand that. But that's going to do it. There you go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Just checking in with you all. Looks like everybody's doing great. I want everyone to do me a favor. Is over the weekend, and really today, send your pictures through the free Weather NorCal app. And then I'll try to share those over the weekend if I get any good ones. And of course, I'll try to, if I don't share them over the weekend, then be sure to look for them Monday morning during Coffee with Krueger. Because I think it's going to be phenomenal to see some of these storm photos. And on top of that, once the storm passes, I really want to see your photos of the mountain landscapes with the fresh snow on top, 7,000, 8,000 feet. I mean, it's going to be a gorgeous sight for August. We don't typically see that. All right, good, Steve. I'm glad you were able to hear that. But yeah, I want to see your photos. Send them through the free Weather NorCal app. It's really easy to do, folks. Just scroll to the bottom and press share your photos, and it will walk you through it. It's super simple. Well, that is going to do it for today. Let's leave you with a couple of, where are we here? Oh, that's where we are. We're going to leave you with a couple of cameras across Northern California. We're going to go ahead and start it off with Lake Oroville. And there you can see the overflow there. The release. Doesn't look like they're releasing any water, at least from the spillway there. All right, that's going to do it for us this morning, folks. So glad you could join us this morning. And I would love for you to have a great weekend. In the meantime, have a great day. Stay safe out there. And we will see you on Monday morning, right here on Coffee with Krueger, starting at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.